Hello everyone! I'm back with another review, but of course and here's the review on Neca Godzilla 2014, the reissue version, not the original release version. Now before I do anything, like show the box and the figure itself, I want to say Happy Remembrance Day. Yeah, Happy Remembrance Day to every single person in the world, especially the soldiers who passed and any loved ones, any sort of ancestors. But Happy Remembrance Day. Hope this would help. But anyways, of course, here's my review on the figure. So here is the figure itself, but of course, let's move this guy out of the way. Now, I didn't bring 2014 SH Monster Arts with me, but I brought the box, so here he is. Here's the figure in the front. Here's the box in the front side, the other side, the top, and the bottom, and the back. Bit generic, also has a rip, but it's pretty good. And the inside. Controversial, and it has the building there. Controversial opinion. I like this box over the King of the Monsters box because this type of style, because it just fits. The King of the Monsters stuff is just way too overused, the whole metal thing. It's just too overused, but you get the point. Now, here's the figure. And crappy graphics. But here he is. Let's start with the painting and the sculpting. Painting and the sculpting on this figure is really good. Now, I don't own the 24-inch version, but I only own the 6-inch version now, so it's going to be different. So, come to his eyes. You can barely see it. Kinda. Okay. But, you can barely see it. He has very nice eyes, even though you can barely see the eyes. And they look pretty good. You can't see it on the camera. See, look at that. Look at that. And look on the other side. They're pretty good. It's just he looks kind of derpy, even though you can't see it. The teeth are decently painted and has a nice mouth. And the sculpt overall is pretty good. It's accurate. I would say I don't know if the X Plus is accurate, but I would be wrong. The Monster Arts is very inaccurate. But this thing is very accurate. He has a nice gills. They're not as pronounced compared to 2014 SH Monster Arts. He looks nice. He has a nice, except, again, one of my main problems with this figure is bent dorsal plates. Let's see if you can find some. There's one you could see at the bottom, right there. And there's one also at the top. But he has a nice brown underbelly and nice arms. And the nice chubby features that 2014 had. And it looks pretty good. The painting is not as glossy, even though there's a bit of gloss, but because I put grease in it. Frick. But it does look nice. The toenails look a bit generic. And his dorsal plates are not as big compared to 2014. Well, actually not 2014, 2019. And his tail is overly long, but it's still a good design. Now, I'm going to bring in, of course, the only QC issues I can find, I would say, are his bent dorsal plates. They're a bit, I could be wrong. But it's just probably me being more used to, but it doesn't feel loose. Well, actually, I didn't find any other QC issues, so I wouldn't really know. And to be honest, it's like, it feels much better compared to the 2019 release, where the paint was inaccurate, the sculpting was almost the same, and literally the painting was an absolute mess. Remember the eyes? The articulation is roughly the same. this figure is roughly the same as Godzilla 2019, but it doesn't feel loose, and, you know, the head doesn't come off. Probably because I removed the head and broke it. Let's start off with the articulation. Head is on a ball joint. Right there. Head is on a ball joint, a jaw is on a hinge joint, and it's much wider, I think, than the original. Neck is not as limited compared to 2019, where it was very limited. Big problem. Arms are on a ball joint. It can go 360, and he also has some in and out flapping motion, where you can do this. A bend at the elbow, along with a bicep swivel, and instead of a hinge joint at the hand, he has a ball joint at the hand. That's one thing they changed. Along with 84, they just did the opposite, where they gave 84 hinge joint hands. Kind of a nice, funny coincidence. Where they just gave, like, the 29, they just gave the ball joint hands as a replacement over the wrist joint hands for the legendary Godzillas, but then they're like Heisei, especially 84, they give the hinge joint hands. Interesting coincidence. Now, he can look down pretty well, and not that much up. Has some decent twisting motion, nice tilts, and, you know, he can look mean in some shots. The articulation on the leg. Now, imagine the leg you can bend it, but sadly, I don't think you can unless you heat it up. So you can't really properly do a spread, but he has some decent leg movement. The knee joints feel oh so smoothly, not as tight compared to Godzilla 2019, where he had really stiff knees. He has really nice ball jointed ankles, which give him more posability. But sadly, the tail is the same. At least, in my knowledge, 4 ball jointed segmented tail with a bendy wire. Although I could be wrong, the bendy wire seems much stronger compared to the predecessor version. Posability is good, similar to 2019, but it feels much better than 2019. Now for the size. Godzilla is around 6 inches, so it's pretty well done. Now, I don't have any figures to compare it with, so let's go right to the chase. So, buy a little bit of a buy now, skip, or don't. Buy now, skip, or wait for a deal, or really don't wait for a deal, considering the NECA's gonna pretty much lose a license unless you can find it for a good price on the aftermarket. Yeah, this thing I got for like $54. And I was expecting the original release, but on closer inspection, he's not bad. In terms of articulation, he is like way better than 2019. He feels not as loose compared to 2019, considering I only have version 1. And he just feels perfect in the hands. And I would consider this if you want. And, you know, it just feels like the standard Godzilla 2014 for 6-inch figures. In terms of articulated, I would say that it has to go to Godzilla 24-inch. Godzilla, the 2014, that big boy. That is even better than this. But sadly, I do not own him, and I don't think NECA's gonna reissue it with a better paint scheme. But overall, I suggest get this figure, especially the reissue. The original release isn't bad by all means, but I mean, it is a nice. It's not bad by all means. It's just this one is like subjectively way better than the first release in paint and articulation wise. But until then, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. You can order this figure in the description below. I'll actually link 2 of them because I got this from Amazon. But you can also get it made by Toy Store because why not? And Discord server will be in the link in the description below. Also, follow me on Instagram. Yay. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Today, with SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2019 as a re-review because I have this phone. But, see you guys. Bye.